מה יש לומר על זה? בכל פעם שהעולם רוצה להסביר לנו עד כמה הסכסוך שלנו עם העולם הערבי, עם הפלסטיני, מיושן, לא ראוי, ניתן לפתרון, מראים לנו את אירלנד, צפון אירלנד, הסכם יום השישי הטוב. אז נכון, בצפון אירלנד לא נשפך דם, אני לא מזלזל בכך, אבל לא הכל פתור, בלשון המעטה. לא מכבר יצא לאור בעברית הספר הרוחות של בלפאסט, ספר הביקורים המעולה של סטיוארט נביל, בהוצאת תמיר סנדיק. בספר, רוצח לשעבר של ה-IRA, המחתרת הקתולית, שרוחות נרצחיו לא מניחות לו, הן דורשות נקמה. Good evening, Stuart Neville, and thank you for granting us this interview.
My pleasure.
Your book, The Ghosts of Belfast, well, coming from the Middle East, it's pessimistic.
Actually, when I began writing the novel, the political process in Northern Ireland was floundering. Everybody here really thought it was all going to fall apart at that time. And as it happened, as I was writing the book, things actually started coming together. An agreement was made, and we held a referendum for a government, that kind of thing. So a lot changed just while I was writing the book. But at that time, it was the very earliest days of us having a government here. We didn't know if it was going to work out, if it was going to be stable. So it kind of reflects the time it was written in.
And the situation at the moment in Northern Ireland, after the Good Friday Accord and in the many, many years from then on, basically it's good.
I think back 25, 30 years, if you went to Belfast city centre, you'd have to go through turnstiles, your bags would be searched on the way through. The city would close at 6 o'clock, and all the provincial towns likewise would close at 6 o'clock, have barriers put up every night to prevent a bomb being driven in. It's a simple fact that tonight I could go into Belfast, the city will be open, all the bars will be open, cinemas, theatres, restaurants, all those things that any peaceful society takes for granted. We have all of that now. And I know that seems like a superficial thing to highlight.
No, it's not. That's the basic of life. I wanted to ask you, your protagonist, Jerry, an ex-IRA murderer or assassin, or any way you want to look at it, and you turn to him in no romantic fashion. This is not a novel of the romantic of the IRA, the freedom fighters on the one hand, nor of the good Brit trying to bring peace on the other hand. He's killing, after all, he's killing his own, and you look at them and you see them for what they are.
But yeah, I mean, the book doesn't try to moralize in the sense of who's a good guy, who's a bad guy. Every character exists in their own world and behaves as they will within it. So although Jerry Fagan is a protagonist, I hesitate to say hero of the story. And he's a killer many times over and goes on to kill many times more through the course of the book. The story doesn't judge him. It just kind of lets him get on with it.
The hero of the book, Jerry, he's in a better moralic shape, if I can quote it, say it like that, than the politicians who used him, who rule Northern Ireland as we speak.
There was a sense that the people who had profited from the conflict were now the same people who were profiting from the peace. And also the sense that justice had been sacrifice for the expediency of politics, and this has become a problem since people from both sides of the conflict are now asking, what about us? The people who have lost relatives and loved ones to violence and have never seen any form of justice, they're now starting to ask those questions. Where is our justice? Where is our peace? And that's kind of the spine of the book, really, is that question. Is how much will you give up? What will you sacrifice for peace? How much justice will you forgo?
And what is your lesson in it? If we look at this equation, if you want the justice, the complete justice of taking revenge in anyone who murdered or ordered a murder, but on the other hand, if you do it, then the political process falls apart and everybody is returning to the war. What is your conclusion?
Well, my conclusion, it's a work of fiction. I'm not sure where this quote originates, but somebody once said, in the afterlife we have justice, in this life we have the law. And they're two quite distinct ideas. And the book is about revenge. And But in the real world, in real lives, revenge
Sure.
doesn't work. It only, violence begets violence, no matter what it's motivated by. The central idea of the book doesn't work in real life. We can't have that kind of revenge, and justice doesn't work like that in reality. And it's something I think people in Northern Ireland have begrudgingly accepted, is that we won't see justice. Justice will never happen, but we're willing to pay that price for a peaceful life. Now, for somebody like me, I'm very fortunate that I never lost anybody very close to me in the Troubles. So that's fine for me, but it's a much more bitter pill for somebody who did lose a child or a father or a mother or a sibling in the Troubles.
Yeah, but perhaps peace and prosperity are a good price to pay for some small justice, although I cannot judge. Thank you very much for these interviews, Stuart Neville, author of The Ghosts of Belfast.
Thank you.
מה אומר לכם השם אנתוני ווינר? הוא היה כוכב בשמי הפוליטיקה של ניו יורק, יהודי, אשתו המוסלמית